I've waited 3 years for this moment. 3 years to finally wield the power that Warlocks once had back inside of Destiny 1. You see, a long time ago, there was a scout rifle called TLALOC. It was an exotic, and on the surface, it was a normal scout rifle. But upon obtaining your super, this weapon became an absolute monster. Essentially, the exotic trait stated the weapon would gain better handling, rate of fire, and stability while the wielder super is charged. Now, the drawback is you couldn't use your super, but the upside was the scout rifle was so deadly, you didn't have to use your super. It wrecked everything. TLALOC was class specific, but it turned many of us, even Titan mains like myself, into dress-wearing warlocks, at least for a moment. Now, unfortunately, like many other amazing weapons back inside of Destiny 1, we had to say our goodbyes until the new exotic Mantle of Battle Harmony was presented to us. You see, it comes with the exotic perk Absorption Cells. Takedowns with the weapon that have a damage type matching your subclass will grant you super energy. While your super energy is full, you instead gain a temporary bonus to weapon damage of the type matching your subclass element. AKA, if you're rocking a solar-based weapon and a solar subclass, boom, Absorption Cells are at work. Same for Void with Void subclasses, Arc with Arc subclasses, and well, Stasis, at least for now, really doesn't have a point here, as there's no real Stasis weapon outside of Salvation's Grip. But did Bungie actually do it? Did they just give us a better version of TLALOC? No longer actually tying us to a single weapon, but instead allowing us to use it on any weapon of our choice as long as it's matching our subclass? Bungie. But unfortunately, it did not work in PvP until last week's Hotfix 3.1.1.1, where they updated Mantle of Battle Harmony to function inside of PvP. Fellas, I was excited. And no better weapon to pull out of my arsenal than, of course, Polaris Lance. I know it's not good kindness, not even in the same archetype, but if there was any scout rifle that I would want to marry myself up to be an absolute monster with this exotic, it would be Polaris. Now, a couple of details about Polaris real quick before we get into its 2-tap potential, because yes, with its exotic, it can 2-tap. It's kind of nasty. Actually reminds me of one I amassed back in the day before it got nerfed. See, back then, it actually would give you a damage buff. Of course, that's not the case anymore. But the exotic comes with the exotic perk Perfect Fifth. Precision hits returns ammo to the magazine. Landing 4 precision hits loads a delayed solar explosive round for your next shot. You know, originally the debate for the longest time was which scout rifle was the best, well, at least amongst our exotic scouts. And up until Dead Man's Tell, Polaris Lance was actually my favorite. It came with traits like Zen Moment. I actually preferred it even over Jade Rabbit, despite Jade Rabbit having Zen Moment as well, and an exotic catalyst that greatly boosts stability. Polaris just had something about it that just, to me, made it the most manageable 150 round per minute scout rifle in the game. Top of that, it also comes with an exotic catalyst that gives the weapon Dragonfly. Now, like most 150 round per minute scout rifles in the game as of now, they all sit around a 0.8 second time to kill value, but does require perfect accuracy at 3 crits. However, when we take Mantle of Battle Harmony, upon getting a kill with your super active, you'll notice there at the bottom left hand of your screen of a buff being active for about 4 seconds. Maybe it's 3.5, I don't know, 3.5, 4 seconds, somewhere around that mark. Regardless though, for the weapon matching the elemental type of your subclass, this increases your damage for that duration by 19%. Where Polaris comes into play though, is with its Perfect Fifth exotic trait. You see, if you kill a Guardian in 3 crits and activate Absorption Cells for that increase in damage, and then proceed to shoot another Guardian, simply landing 2 crits, which increases the damage from 68 to now 81 per crit, on that 5th shot, it will activate that explosive round, which yes, does damage over time. Surprisingly, this too is affected by Absorption Cells, increasing that damage around 7 to 8 damage per tick, which is pretty substantial. Long story short, I was easily able to kill Les here in 2 crits, even when Les was rocking max resilience. Fellas, this is nasty. 2 crits, and you can walk away from the gunfight knowing that target will die. Granted, you gotta be accurate, you gotta be on point, and you gotta use a scout rifle, which is actually more difficult to do despite all the scout rifle adjustments that we've had over the past few months. Actually, one of my biggest problems here recently since playing with Dead Man's Tell is I try to hip fire with other scout rifles. It doesn't translate. No, other scout rifles, especially exotic scout rifles, really require you to sit still, aim down sights, and pretty much be a laning Larry. However, when you do start chaining kills with Polaris Lance, it just keeps getting nastier and nastier. And yes, that damage buff does refresh on itself with with every kill. So chain kill after kill, you're good. And I've seen a lot of people work in other combinations. Igneous Hammer, alongside our Dawnblade subclass, yes, increases the damage up to 108, which allows for easy 2-taps. Bottom Dollar. If you wanted to combine Bottom Dollar with Voidwalker, go right ahead. Hell, you can even combine it with Bottom Tree Voidwalker. Get some Devour going, run around 2-tapping Guardians while simultaneously getting your health back with each kill. And there's other things you can do. My high-impact sniper rifle here that has high-impact reserves. Yes, landing a kill, activating Absorption Cells, getting that bump there in damage allows me to easily one-shot, body-shot Guardians, even max resilience ones. But understand, the reason why you're seeing this combo today is because I'm trying to recreate TLALOC. That's what I want. The question I want to answer, even though I do like Mantle of Battle Harmony, we're going to actually do another review of this exotic even more in depth for certain combinations inside of PvE. Inside of PvP, I do like it. Yes, it has some similarities between it and Rampage, but it actually offers more damage after just one kill than a single stack of Rampage. Although Rampage does match it at 2 stacks and then proceeds to outperform it at 3 stacks. So yeah, I can look at the benefits of Mantle all day long. And I really do like Battle Harmony. I think it's a very cool exotic, and the versatility that it offers allows it not to just be tied to a single weapon or even a single weapon type, but to actually pair it with whatever you want, with both benefits on the front end in getting your super and benefits on the back end. But, and this is my fault, I set myself up, fellas. You see, I can't quite explain how nasty TLALOC is. Like, even if I wanted to go back, and I probably will go back and just get some more gameplay of TLALOC, load it up. Every single time though, the scout rifle blows me away. It didn't matter if you missed your shots. It didn't matter if you only got 50% accuracy. That increase in rate of fire, as well as the bump there in stability and handling, made TLALOC an absolute monster. I was expecting the damage buff to be more passive, as in I didn't need an activation of kills in order to get the damage buff rolling. And I understand why Bungie did what they did, as well as the duration differences between PvE and PvP. I know they did this for a means of balance. They essentially took TLALOC and its exotic trait and converted it into an armor piece, but required a kill to activate its exotic perk, the trade-out being versatility. Am I let down with 2 taps from Polaris Lance? Absolutely not. It's disgusting. Whether you're 2-tapping with Polaris, 2-tapping with Bottom Dollar, Igneous Hammer, one-shot body-shotting Guardians with aggressive snipers, it's all nasty. Everything about this exotic has playmaking potential, but I think the reality for me is I just missed TLALOC, fellas. I think at the end of the day, I'm not gonna be satisfied until TLALOC comes back in the game. It's kind of like Twilight Garrison for me, right? I feel like every season I'm like, Bungie, please, can we have Twilight back? The same thing rolls over here for TLALOC. Overall, guys, Mantle of Battle Harmony got a buff inside of PvP, and we will be reviewing it separately for PvE, as I do want to combine it with certain weapons that can definitely benefit from that exotic trait, especially weapons that already have a damage boosting perk, as that stacks with this exotic trait. And even though Polaris is no dead man's tell, it can still hold its own. Although scout rifles are going to be looked at pretty harshly by us within the next week. I want to talk about it. I love Polaris, I love Jade, I love a lot of other scout rifles too, Might multi-tool, but Dead Man's Tell has just given us a new taste. And it's not due to the fact that the weapon is just so powerful. It's just purely for the fact that we have a scout rifle that's consistent, that allows us to be as mobile as we want to be while still maintaining accuracy. So that's the only drawback with this entire build, with Polaris here, or with any other scout rifle in the game actually. You kind of have to sit on your behind and play somewhat passive. But for those moments that you do snag the 3-tap, the follow-up kill afterwards is 2-tap city. Well, fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.